God says, I order you to listen this right now. Someone in your family is seriously sick, and only this prayer can save them. This is an urgent warning. Do not turn away from this urgent prayer. Read it now, while there is still time. I am calling you into this moment with an awakened heart, because someone dear within your family needs to be strengthened through prayer, presence, and acts of loving care. Do not allow confusion to make you turn away, and do not let delay cause you to miss the opportunity to remain beside them while they are weak and weary. I know that this illness has cast a heavy shadow over your home, causing conversations to grow shorter, nights to seem longer, and every heart to become sensitive to even the smallest change. I have seen the eyes trying to conceal anxiety, the wordless sighs, and the tears quickly wiped away so that no one else would notice. I do not take lightly any of the pain unfolding, nor do I want you to face it through fear. I want you to rise through love calmly, do what must be done, pray with faith, and at the same time, wholeheartedly seek appropriate medical care for the one who is suffering. Perhaps you sensed beforehand that this person's health was no longer as it had once been. A pale expression, a weakened voice, a slower step, or an unusual silence may have been enough to make your heart uneasy. Do not blame yourself for worrying, because concern is sometimes simply evidence of how deeply you love them. But my beloved child, I do not want your concern to become a pit that pulls you downward. Turn it into wise and attentive care. Ask how they are with a gentle voice. Listen without judgment. Help them reach a medical facility when necessary. Remember the physician's instructions and do not leave them to struggle alone with their pain. Prayer does not cause you to avoid responsibility. Sincere prayer makes you more courageous in caring, more patient in accompanying, and more alert when important decisions must be made. I see within you an ability that even you do not always recognize. You can become an anchor of peace within a house that feels as though it is swaying. You do not need to speak grand words, nor must you appear so strong that you hide every emotion. What your loved one may need is simply a hand holding theirs. A glass of water brought at the right time, an appointment carefully arranged, a night when you are willing to stay awake beside their bed, or a sentence reminding them that they do not have to suffer alone. I have not placed upon your shoulders the burden of creating a miracle by yourself. I am only inviting you to remain faithful in the portion entrusted to you. Healing is not a bargain, and faith is not coercion. Faith is choosing to continue loving amid what you do not understand. Holding on to hope while the outcome remains uncertain, and doing what is right, even while your heart trembles. Pray for your loved one sincerely, but do not pray in panic. Let your words rise from the deepest and quietest place within your heart. You may tell me that you are afraid, exhausted, and uncertain about what to do next. I do not require you to hide your weakness. I draw near to you in the very moments when you no longer have sufficient words to explain what you feel. When you sit silently beside the sick person, I am still present. When you wait for test results, I remain there. When you must hear something difficult to receive, I do not leave you. When a small ray of hope appears, I will help you value it without rushing to reassure yourself through things that are not yet certain. The peace I give does not deny reality. It is the strength that helps you walk through reality with a steady heart. Do not allow rumors, unverified information, or promises that sound too easy to distract you from what is necessary. When an illness is serious, wisdom requires timely action. Consultation with qualified professionals and adherence to treatment guidance. I can use many paths to bring help, and the hands of physicians, nurses, and caregivers may also become instruments of mercy. Do not assume that seeking treatment means a lack of faith. On the contrary, receiving the right help at the right time is an expression of humility and responsibility. Ask for discernment to recognize what is beneficial, what only increases confusion within the family, and what must be done immediately without delay. I also want you to remember to care for yourself during these days. The one who strengthens others also needs to be strengthened. You cannot continually remain awake through the night, neglect food, conceal every anxiety, and expect yourself to have enough strength for long-term care. Share responsibility with trustworthy members of the family. Rest when you are able, eat properly, and allow yourself to cry when needed. I do not condemn you for being weary. I simply do not want you to collapse in silence because you believe that love means enduring everything alone. Mature love knows how to ask for help, divide responsibilities, acknowledge limitations, and preserve hope together. In your moments of prayer, do not ask only for the illness to disappear. Ask that your loved one be covered with peace, that their pain be reduced, that they meet the right people who can help, and that they be cared for with dignity. Ask that your family speak to one another gently, without blame or arguments caused by stress, and that fear not be transformed into words that wound. Ask that difficult decisions be made with wisdom. Ask that each person learn to treasure every day they still have, because sometimes healing begins in the way people treat one another in the midst of adversity. My beloved child, your presence is more valuable than you realize, not because you hold that person's destiny in your hands, but because you can help them feel loved, heard, and accompanied. You do not need to control every outcome. You only need to remain faithful today. Make the necessary phone call. Take them to an appointment. Remind them to take medication according to instructions. Prepare a meal. Sit beside them in silence and offer prayer from an honest heart. These small acts can become streams of cool water in a dry land. I am with you in the hospital room, in the waiting corridor, in the difficult conversations, and in every moment when you try to remain calm for the sake of the family. I will not leave you alone in this. Walk one day at a time, and do not drag yourself into dark possibilities that have not happened. Whatever today requires you to do it with all your love. Whatever is beyond your ability, place it into my hands. Pray, act, seek the right help, and remain beside your loved one. With a love that is quiet but steadfast, through that gentleness, I will teach you that hope is not closing your eyes to suffering, but continuing to keep a lamp burning while the night has not yet passed. I see clearly the illness casting its shadow over your family, and not one sigh, sleepless night, or silent plea has been forgotten before me. There are moments when you sit quietly with a heart full of questions you do not know where to place. There are times when you watch your loved one grow weaker day by day and wish that you could bear their pain for them. I understand that helplessness, but I do not want fear to control every thought and decision. Fear only exhausts you before you have the chance to do what is necessary, while faith helps you rise, face reality, and move with wisdom. Now I am teaching you to leave behind dark predictions and return to what you can do today. Pray sincerely, care faithfully, seek timely assistance, and keep your household from sinking into confusion. Do not interpret faith as denying the seriousness of the illness or appearing strong while you are trembling inwardly. True faith does not require you to pretend that everything is fine. Faith helps you preserve peace while many things remain unclear. When you speak with me, you do not need eloquent language, nor must you prove that you are unafraid. Tell me honestly what you carry: exhaustion, fear of loss, helplessness, and questions still without answers. I receive an honest heart more readily than perfectly arranged words. From that place of sincerity, you will recover the steadiness, not to be swept away by rumors, hasty assumptions, or groundless promises. I want you to pray with trust, but I also want you to act wisely, because mature love always knows how to unite hope with responsibility. Your voice has value, but not because you can determine the outcome of the illness by yourself. Your words matter, because they can calm someone who is frightened, strengthen someone who is weary, and prevent the family from hurting one another during a tense season. Therefore, be careful with what you say. Do not let your mouth continually repeat hopeless possibilities that have not happened, nor speak with certainty about things you cannot yet know. Speak with love and truth. Remind the person who is ill that they are cherished, that they do not have to face everything alone, and that the family will walk with them through every appointment, every stage of treatment, and every day of recovery. Sometimes one gentle sentence offered at the right moment can bring more strength than lengthy advice. When I call you to stand firm, I am not telling you to carry everything upon your shoulders. You were not chosen to become the only person responsible for your loved one's survival. I am only inviting you to remain faithful in the portion that love has entrusted to you. Ask proactively about their condition, record the physician's instructions, help them take medication correctly, and do not postpone seeking medical care. When dangerous signs appear, share responsibility with others instead of quietly becoming exhausted. If you do not understand information about the illness, ask a qualified professional again. If a decision feels too great, calmly discuss it with your family. I do not want your zeal to make you reckless, nor your anxiety to paralyze you. The peace I give will help you remain gentle in love and clear in action. The one who is ill truly needs more than medicine, but this does not mean that medication and treatment are unnecessary. They need to be seen as a whole person, not merely as a disease. They need to be heard when they are exhausted, respected when they express their wishes, allowed to rest without feeling like a burden, and surrounded by people who do not add more fear. You can become part of that protection through very ordinary acts. Keeping the room quiet, preparing suitable meals, taking them to appointments, helping them remember their treatment schedule, sitting beside them while waiting for results, or simply letting them know that you are present. These small but faithful actions are where love becomes visible. Do not despise what happens quietly, because recovery is often strengthened through care that no one else notices. I do not require you to be perfect before you can help another person. I look at your willingness, at your decision to remain when things become difficult, at the patience you learn when the patient becomes irritable because of pain, and at the humility you show when you accept assistance. You may have days filled with hope and then feel exhausted. The very next day, that does not make you a person without faith. You are still human, loving in the midst of a heavy circumstance. Allow yourself to rest, eat properly, and find someone trustworthy with whom you can share. You cannot provide long-term care if you continually neglect yourself. Protecting your own health is not selfish. It is how you preserve the ability to accompany them with patience and calmness. When you pray, Do not turn prayer into pressure upon yourself to produce a certain outcome. Entrust your loved one to me with love. Ask for wisdom for the care team, endurance for the patient, unity for the family, and clarity in every decision. Ask that the pain be reduced, that their body respond well to treatment, and that those serving them be guided correctly. At the same time, remain open to receiving help through the people I place along your path. Sometimes the answer comes through a timely phone call, a devoted physician, a relative willing to take over caregiving for a few hours, or advice that helps the whole family change the way they offer support. Do not search only for the extraordinary and overlook grace, arriving in very ordinary forms. Doubt may return many times, especially during long nights, or when the results are not what you hoped. When that happens, do not condemn yourself. Return to the small steps. Do what needs to be done today. Schedule the appointment that must be scheduled. Ask the question that needs to be asked. Say what the patient needs to hear with gentleness. Whatever lies beyond your reach, place it into my hands instead of allowing it to consume your peace. Faith is not never wavering. Faith is choosing after every moment of uncertainty to return to love, wisdom, and hope. I will not condemn you for moments of weakness. I will lift you so that you may continue without carrying the additional burden of self-blame, my beloved child. You are not alone during these days, nor are you useless before your family's circumstances. Your presence, when guided by mercy, can become a shelter for the one who is suffering. Keep your hands ready to serve, your ears ready to listen, and your words ready to bring peace. Do not claim control over things that belong only to me, but do not neglect the responsibilities I have entrusted to you. Pray without panic, act without haste, hope without denying reality, and love without demanding repayment. I am with you in every step through hospital corridors, in every minute of waiting, and in every labored breath of the person you love. Walk one day at a time with me, because even in this trial, love can make your home steady, warm, and filled with light. Illness may cause your home to tremble, but it does not have the authority to write the final word while I remain present within the circumstance. You are seeing troubling signs, results that weigh heavily upon your heart, and days that seem longer than usual. But I want you to understand that what your eyes see is not the entire story. There are things being arranged beyond your awareness, doors of assistance being opened, and suitable people being led to you at the right time. Therefore, do not hastily conclude that everything has ended. Simply because there is no clear sign yet, look honestly at reality, but do not bow your head before it. Recognize the seriousness of the illness and actively seek necessary care while guarding your heart from hopeless thoughts, trying to occupy every empty space in your mind. I know you have often asked yourself whether there is anything more you can do. You look at your loved one in exhaustion, and your heart aches as though you are suffering with them. At times you try to remain strong, but when you are alone, tears begin to flow. I do not condemn you for these emotions, because love makes people sensitive to one another's pain. Yet do not give panic the authority to lead you. Emotions need to be heard, but they must not become the decision maker. You may cry, acknowledge that you are afraid, and tell me that you do not know what will happen. Then rise and carry out today's responsibility. Faith does not turn you into someone who cannot feel pain. Faith keeps pain from paralyzing you. Your voice can become a refuge for the one who is weak. Therefore, do not let your words be colored by dark assumptions, nor continually repeat things that have not been confirmed. The patient is already fighting physical exhaustion. They do not need the added burden of everyone else's fear. Speak calmly, gently, and honestly. Let them know that you are there, that they can express fear without judgment, and that they do not need to pretend to be strong in order to protect the family's emotions. Sometimes the greatest source of peace is not a promise about tomorrow, but one simple sentence: today, I will be here with you. Faithful love in the present has greater power to strengthen than distant assurances. When you pray, I want you to pray from the most honest place in your heart, without haste and without repeating words, merely because you fear that you will not be heard. If you have not said enough, I hear even the sighs you cannot express. Slow down, breathe deeply, and place the one you love before me with all the trust you presently possess, even if that trust feels small. Ask that they be strengthened in pain, meet the right caregivers, receive appropriate treatment, and be covered with peace during difficult hours. Ask that your family possess wisdom for decisions, unity, so that pressure does not turn into conflict, and patience for the long journey. You do not need to use prayer as a way to force a result. I have not called you to bear responsibility beyond your portion. I call you to entrust, to trust, and to become one who sows peace in a place of confusion. There is a difference between faith and control. Faith acts wholeheartedly, while humbly acknowledging that some things are beyond your strength. Control causes you to blame yourself whenever the outcome does not match your desire, while faith helps you continue loving without becoming a prisoner of false guilt. You are not the cause of the illness, nor are you the only person responsible for recovery. Do what you can, then place the rest in my hands. I am leading you into a courage that is quiet. It is not expressed through grand declarations used to conceal weakness, but through the ability to calmly enter each day. Such courage helps you call the doctor. When you notice an unusual sign, ask again. When you do not understand, carefully arrange medication and follow professional advice. It also helps you seek additional support when you are tired, instead of trying to prove that you can do everything alone. Remember that help may arrive in very ordinary forms. A devoted nurse, a relative taking a caregiving shift, a friend bringing a meal, or a timely conversation may become the support for which you prayed. Do not consider seeking treatment a lack of trust. I have given you understanding to use knowledge to professionals, so that they may serve, and the ability for your family to cooperate in love. Prayer does not replace responsibility. Prayer helps responsibility be carried out with greater wisdom. When an illness shows urgent signs, do not delay merely because you are waiting for a special feeling of confirmation. Take the patient to a place where care is available. Observe changes, record necessary information, and ask clearly about what must be done. Your alertness in this season is also an expression of love. I also want you to protect the atmosphere within your home. Illness often does not affect only one person. It can make the whole family tense, sensitive, and more likely to wound one another. Be the person who pauses before speaking in anger. Remember that each person responds to fear differently. One becomes silent, another irritable, another asks questions continually, while someone else avoids the situation because they do not know how to face it. Do not quickly conclude that they do not care. Open, honest conversations, divide responsibilities clearly, and allow one another the rest that is needed. A united family is not a family without disagreement. It is a family that refuses to let disagreement destroy love during a trial. The person for whom you are praying has not been forgotten in their pain. I am near them through the long hours in bed when exhaustion leaves them unwilling to speak, and in every moment when they wonder whether they have become a burden. Help them feel that their worth has not diminished because their health has weakened. Do not ask only about symptoms. Ask how they feel. Do not merely tell them to be strong. Allow them to be vulnerable. Do not speak for them in every decision. If they are still able to express their wishes, healing sometimes begins when a person is treated with dignity, listened to, and loved not for what they can do, but simply for who they are, my beloved child. Speak your prayer slowly, not because each syllable carries magical power, but because slowness helps your heart return to sincerity. Tell me that you entrust your loved one to my care. Ask me to keep you from panic, teach you what must be done, and give you enough strength for each day. Ask that the patient receive relief from pain, rest, encouragement, and care from devoted hands. After prayer, move into action with peace. Make the necessary call, prepare what they need, sit beside them, and listen. I do not promise that every road will be easy, but I promise that you will not walk alone. When you no longer have the strength to look far ahead, simply walk with me through today. Light for the next step will come when it is needed. Come before me with calm faith rather than panic, and place the one you love who is suffering into my care. I know that you have carried their name within your heart for many days, thought of them during quiet hours, and wished that you could bear the pain in their place. You do not need to conceal your concern from me, nor pretend to be strong while your heart is trembling. Bring me everything that is most honest within you, because I do not reject a heart seeking support. I want you to understand that prayer does not begin by denying fear, but by placing that fear into my hands and choosing not to let it rule you. When you draw near to me with trust, you leave confusion and enter a place of peace, where you can view the circumstance with clearer eyes and continue loving without being swallowed by despair. I am closer to the one you love than you realize. When they are too exhausted to speak, I still understand. When they lie in a quiet room, wondering what tomorrow will bring, I remain present when pain makes them sensitive, impatient, or withdrawn from those around them. I do not turn my face away. Therefore, ask that my peace cover them like a gentle atmosphere, quiet their troubled thoughts, and help them find rest during this difficult process. That peace is not a fragile feeling that exists only when circumstances are favorable. It is a quiet strength helping them face each day without losing hope, receive the necessary care, and preserve love within the family amid pressure. Ask me to strengthen them where they are weak, but do not view weakness only as something shameful. The human body has limits, and illness may prevent a person from doing things that once felt ordinary. They may require help with tasks they once performed alone, feel that they have become a burden, or fear that others will grow tired of caring for them. Let your words and actions remind them that their value has not diminished because their health has weakened. Speak respectfully, ask what they need, instead of deciding everything on their behalf, and give them permission to express both hope and fear. When you care for them with patience, you help my peace become visible within the home. I know that you long for healing to touch every injured place. You may boldly present that desire to me, because I do not take any pain lightly. Ask that weakened areas be strengthened, impaired functions be restored, pain be reduced, and their body respond well to treatment. But also ask for wisdom to recognize help arriving through practical paths. Sometimes an answer begins with a timely examination, an accurate diagnosis, a devoted professional, or an appropriate plan of care. I do not want you merely to wait passively. Mature faith moves you to act responsibly, verify information, follow necessary guidance, and refuse delay when the illness shows concerning signs. You do not need to turn prayer into a formula, nor repeat words many times, because you fear that I have not heard. I heard you from your first cry. What I desire is sincerity, not speak slowly, allowing each word to come from the deepest place in your heart. You may tell me that you trust me, even though you do not yet see the outcome, that you choose hope, while many things remain unclear, and that you are willing to walk with your loved one through every stage of this journey. Such prayer does not deny reality. It refuses to allow reality to become the only ruler of your mind. It helps you remember that alongside medical records, test results, and human predictions, there are still love, support, and possibilities you cannot yet fully see. I want you to pray not only for the patient's recovery, but also for the unity of your family. Long periods of illness often make everyone more vulnerable. One person may become silent because of fear, another quick-tempered because of exhaustion, while another tries to control everything because they do not know how to face helplessness. Ask me to guard each person's words from harshness, decisions from haste, and help everyone share responsibility. Do not allow one person to silently carry everything while others stand by. Arrange caregiving schedules together, exchange information clearly, and give one another opportunities to rest. The healing of a household sometimes begins when family members stop blaming and begin listening. I also see you, the one who is interceding. I know you may have forgotten to care for yourself because your attention is focused on the one who is ill. But my beloved child, you cannot continually pour out when you are empty inside. Rest when possible, eat properly, and do not hesitate to ask a trustworthy person to take your place for a while. Do not condemn yourself when you feel tired, and do not think that you must always be strong to be worthy of being used by me. I did not choose you because you have no limits. I guide you because you are willing to love within your limits. Humility helps you recognize when to continue, when to pause, and when to seek help. This does not make your love smaller. It makes your love more sustainable. When you ask my strength to replace weakness, remember that strength does not always appear as an immediate, dramatic change. Sometimes it comes as one night of better sleep, a meal the patient is able to eat, a smile returning after many silent days, or a little courage to enter the next treatment. Sometimes strength is revealed within you when you are calm enough to hear difficult news without collapsing, patient enough to care without complaining, and clear-minded enough to make necessary decisions. Do not overlook small signs of support, merely because you are waiting for something great. Much restoration begins quietly, little by little, like light slowly, spreading through a room after a long night. Continue believing that I can do things beyond your understanding. But hold that faith with humility. Do not force yourself to determine exactly how I must act, nor impose a deadline upon what you cannot control. Remain open to every form of mercy, relief from pain, an effective treatment, a devoted caregiver, reconciliation within the family, or renewed endurance granted to the patient. I can work through the extraordinary, but I am also often present in simple things you may easily overlook. Remain watchful so that you may recognize and give thanks for every form of help that comes now. Place the one you love into my hands without gripping them through panic. Love them wholeheartedly, but do not transform love into the need to control every outcome. Pray with hope, act with wisdom, and remain beside them with gentleness. When you do not know what to say, simply sit near them. When you do not know what to do, begin with what is closest and most necessary. When you feel powerless, remember that your faithful presence still has value. I will accompany you through every appointment, every long night, every period of waiting, and every small step forward. You do not have to pass through this season of trial alone. I am here, guarding the one you love and also guarding you, so that amid difficult days your faith does not become noise, but a deep, enduring stream of peace filled with love.